you witches, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about another one of my favorite tools, a classic in witchcraft, the cauldron. I have a little mini cauldron here, but I actually have a brand new big beautiful cauldron that I want to show you, so stay with me. For those of you who are new here, my name is Taya. Welcome to the channel. We talk about all sorts of things witchcraft here, today cauldrons. And for those of you who are turning, maybe coming in from another video, thank you so much. All of you, please consider subscribing. It's a great way to help us build the channel. Now, today we are going to talk about cauldrons. They're sort of they're like a real classic in witchcraft, right? When you think of witches, you very often think of the witch with the cauldron and she's stirring the potion or whatever. So we're going to talk about a few uses and a little bit of the symbolic meaning of cauldrons. And then I'm going to show you my brand new find, which I'm so excited about. So when it comes to symbolism, cauldrons can sort of represent all different things. One of them being the feminine divine, linking the cauldron to a uterus, as in your uterus holds things. Cauldrons hold things. Like, you know, you can store your keys up in there. I don't know. So there's the divine feminine, the womb, which links it to fertility. It's also been linked to the Holy Grail and its mysteries. Really, cauldrons are about power, about transformation. You put something in there and it comes out something different, right? You put in a bunch of different ingredients that may not taste good on their own. You cook them up into a stew over the open fire and it tastes amazing. You've transformed it into something else. You can transform ingredients for spells. You can transform, right, different ingredients into potions. There's also mythology about the cauldron and transformation and death and bringing people back to life. And it can also represent in your circle or in your compass, it can represent the element of water because it can hold water, or the element of fire because you can burn things in it. So that brings us to some of those, you know, standard uses. So the cauldron started out not so much as a witchcraft item. It was an everyday item back in the day when everybody cooked over open fire. So you would hang your cauldron over the fire and cook your meals in it, right? And you maybe brew different drinks and beverages in it. And then it became, right, as the way we cook and prepare our food changed, the cauldron became a little more esoteric, and it was really maintained as seeing it as this item that would be used by witches and witchcraft. And what do we use it for in witchcraft? Well, obviously brewing potions, definitely. You can fill it with water and you can scry in it, a form of divination. You can use it for your spell work. Very often when you're doing spells and you've got like a candle you're going to burn and you've got all kinds of different herbs and things that you're going to, you know, dress the candle with and you're going to surround the candle with, right? You can do that within a cauldron, right, for your spell work. And you can burn things in it. So you can like literally burn petitions, which is what I've done in this one. You can see there's like ash left in here. Oops, so I get it all over. So you can burn petitions. You can actually create a fire in a cauldron if it's a little bit bigger. You can burn incense, right? You can put a little a charcoal disc in here and light it and put your incense on it. You can burn candles. It's basically a big fireproof vessel that is very handy to have in your practice. So very often you're going to see witches with their little tiny, our little tiny cute cauldrons because they fit right on our altar, right? They're easy to work with. That's one type, but we also can have great, wonderful, big cauldrons. So this is my newest cauldron. I just picked it up look at the inside. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that a beautiful interior? I just love it. You see there's a little bit of ash in there from just flipping over my little guy there. But I found this at an antique market and it wasn't looking so great. It was a little bit rusty. I brought it home. I scrubbed it up. I got off as much rust as I could. And then I seasoned it in the oven. So you just put your oven to 350 and you coat it with oil, like just a vegetable oil. You put it in at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Take it out, coat it with oil. Do that 3 times, so 3 coats of oil. And then you let it bake for a final like 30 minutes and take it out. And it's got this beautiful finish on it, right? The oil is kind of burnt onto the surface and it creates this beautiful, it's like cast iron, right? So you just finish up the cast iron. And so you can do all of those things that I mentioned in a little cauldron, but you can also do them in a nice big one. And in here, I mean, I could actually start, you know, have a whole raging fire going in here. You can do little fires in your little cauldrons, but in a big cauldron, I can take this outside and actually have like a proper fire in it if I wanted to. So, yeah, I'm really excited. This is my latest find. And yeah, I mean, it needed a little bit of elbow grease. It needed a little bit of work because it's not very often that you can find a big cast iron cauldron like this. And I got it for under $100. And yeah, it was a great score at the antique market. So sometimes, right, when we're looking for tools, we need to go, right, you can't necessarily find stuff at the traditional places. I did look for like just cast iron, like Dutch ovens, that kind of stuff, but I couldn't find any that had like the 1, 2, 3 feet on the bottom. I really wanted that tripod stand bottom. And a lot of them were like $400 or $500 in this type of size that I was looking for. It just really wasn't, you know, it was just not practical. And so again, I just thought, well, where else could I go? I thought, well, we'll check out the antique market. And sure enough, they had a couple there that were ready to be, I mean, they needed some elbow grease, but for the price, I think we did well. So yeah, this is my brand new big cauldron. And then I have just my little cauldron. And those are another one of my favorite witch tools. What is your favorite witch tool? Leave me a comment. Do you have a cauldron? Do you love it? Do you have a little itty bitty? Have you found yourself a nice big one? I mean, maybe you don't want a big one. Maybe that's not practical for you. But yeah, I don't know. Leave me a comment. Let's chat about our cauldrons, all right? Thanks so much, you guys. Check you in the next one.